Lesson 52, using unit multipliers to convert measures and converting mixed units to single unit measures. So first off, unit multipliers. The definition is just a ratio where the numerator and the denominator are equivalent measures but different units. And here you can see in the picture many different units of measurement, unit ratios. So 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes, and so on. Or if you go to metric length, metric units, you got 1 centimeter is the same as 10 millimeters. Or if you look at 1 foot is 12 inches. So these are we're all going to use to convert from one unit of measurement to another. So let's take a look at an example. The sapling apple tree is 64 inches tall. Convert 64 inches to feet by multiplying 64 inches by 1 foot over 12 inches. So I have 64 inches. This is really 64 inches over 1. I need to convert that to feet. So I have 1 foot on top, 12 inches on the bottom. And it's important that you write it that way. So now our inches divide each other out, and I'm left with just feet, which I want my answer in feet. So now I have 64 divided by 12, and 64 divided by 12 gives us an answer of 5.3. Repeating, we can write that as a fraction, so this would be 5 1/3 feet. Next one, a certain double feature at a theater is 270 minutes long. Use the unit multiplier to convert 270 minutes to hours. So I have 270 minutes over 1. I need to go from minutes to hours. Well, I know that there are 60 seconds in 1 minute, and that gets rid of my minute label, but I want, actually let me do that one over again, because we can go right from minutes to hours. So it would be 1 hour, it's the same as 60 minutes. The minute labels cancel out, I'm left with hours, so I'm at 270 hours over 60. 270 divided by 60 gives you 4.5 or 4.5 hours. Next one, Daniel is buying refreshments for a meeting. He wonders if 4 quarts of juice is enough for 30 students. Is 4 quarts a reasonable amount? If not, suggest a more reasonable quantity. So to solve this one, we need to find out how many ounces would 4 quarts be. So 4 quarts or 1, and there are 32 ounces in 1 quart. So this will give you 128 ounces. If you divide that by the 30 students, that's roughly 4 ounces. But we know that 1 ounce, or 8 ounces, is equal to a cup. So they have 4 ounces per student. So that's half a cup. So would that be reasonable? No, it would not be. If we double the quart, then we would double the ounces. So it would give us 1 full cup. So a reasonable amount would be 8 quarts for each student to get 1 cup of juice. Last one, Samantha drove 100 miles in an hour and 45 minutes. How many hours did it take for Samantha to drive 100 miles? So first off, we need to change 45 minutes to an hour. So we have 45 minutes over 1 times 1 hour over 60 minutes. minutes cancel out. I'm left with 45 over 60. I can divide each top and bottom by 15. This will give us 3/4 of an hour, which is 0.75. We take the 0.75 plus our 1 hour, we would get a total amount of time for 1.75 hours. Next, a gallon is 128 ounces. Convert 128 ounces to pints using a unit multiplier. We need to start with 128 ounces over 1. We need to convert to pints. And there are 16 ounces in 1 pint, so I'll do 1 pint, same as 16 ounces. So if I do 128 divided by 16, I end up with 8 pints. An inch is 2.54 centimeters. A bookcase that is 50 inches high is how many centimeters high? Use a unit multiplier to perform the conversion. So we have 50 inches over 1, multiply that by 2.54 centimeters over 1 inch. Now the question might be, how do you know where to put the unit multipliers? Well, if you want your answer in centimeters, you need to have centimeters on top. That means the inches has to go on the bottom so that they divide out. So now I'm left with 50 times 2.54, which gives us 127 centimeters. Next, I'm going to convert 24 quarts to gallons using a unit multiplier. So we got 24 quarts over 1. 1 gallon is the same as 4 quarts, so I need my answer in gallons, so that has to be on top. 4 quarts has to be on the bottom, so I can cancel out my label quarts. I'm left with gallons. So 24 divided by 4 gives us 6 gallons. And the last one, Carter claims he can run 10,000 centimeters in 14 seconds. Express this claim in more appropriate terms. Normally we would run in meters, so let's convert 10,000 centimeters to meters. So I know that there are 100 centimeters in a meter, so 1 meter is the same as 100 centimeters. Centimeters label can cancel out, and I can cancel out this 0, this 0, this 0, and this 0, so I'm left with 100 meters in 14 seconds. Next, Noel ran 1 mile in 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Find Noel's time in minutes. Express the result as a mixed number and as a decimal number. We want to find out the time in minutes. So I need to convert 30 seconds to minutes. 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. So this would be half a minute. So half a minute plus 7 minutes. This would be 7.5 minutes, or 7.5 minutes. Next one, Marsha swam 400 meters in 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Convert that time to minutes. So 12 seconds over 1 times 1 minute over 60 seconds. Second label cancels out, so I'm left with 12 divided by 60. 12 divided by 60 is 0.2, or 2/10. So we want to convert that, this is minutes, this would be 12.2 minutes. Or not 12.2 minutes, 6.2 minutes. The next one, to measure a room for carpeting, one converts the length and width of a room from feet and inches to yards. A room that is 13 feet 6 inches long is how many yards long? Well, first let's convert the 13 feet to yards. And I know that in 1 yard, that's 3 feet. So the feet labels cancel out, and I'm left with 13 over 3 feet. And then I got to convert 6 inches, so 6 inches over 1 yards. There are 30 in 1 yard. There are 36 inches. Inches labels cancel off, and I'm left with 1/6 of a yard. This would be yard here. So now I have 13 1/3, or not 13 1/3, 13 thirds plus 1/6. So to solve this, I need common denominators. So this would be 13 thirds is the same as 4 2/6, just having common denominators, plus your 1/6 would give you 4.5 yards. Next one, a room is 11 feet 6 inches long and 11 feet 3 inches wide. Find the perimeter of the room in feet. Well, I know that 6 inches is half of a foot, so I have 11.5 feet here. 11 feet 3 inches, so 3 inches over 1 times 1 foot over 12 inches. This will give you 1/4 of a foot. So now I have 11.25 feet. So if I add them together, that gives me 22.75 feet. So that's 2 of the sides. If I multiply this by 2, because I have 2 of the same sides, that would give us 45.5 feet as the perimeter. And the last problems. The newborn child was 21 inches long and weighed 8 pounds 4 ounces. Convert these measures to feet and to pounds respectively, expressed as mixed and decimal numbers. So 21 inches. We need 21 inches in the feet. So 21 inches over 1 is the same as 1 foot over 12 inches. So this will give us 21 over 12. Divide this by 3/3 to give us 7/4, which would be 1 3/4 inches, 1 3/4 of a foot, which is 1.75 feet. And then 4 ounces. So we have 4 ounces over 1 times 1 pound over 16 ounces. This is 1/4 of a pound, which would be 0.25 pounds. Then we have to add our 8 as well in here. So this would be 8.25 pounds, or 8 1/4 of a pound. The last one, convert 11 feet 3 inches to feet, and then use a unit multiplier to convert that measures to yards. So we did this one in our previous slide. you look at that previous slide, 11 feet 3 inches, we had that as 11.25, so I'm going to write that down. 11.25 feet. You need to convert that to yards. So 1 yard is 3 feet. I have 11.25 divided by 3. That gives us 3.75 yards. So that is our lesson on using unit multipliers to convert units of measurements.